Isn't it great? We're here in the room where it happens, right? We've Zoomed, we've perfumed, we've called, we've texted, but now we're here. We're in the room where it happens. And what great panels. CAR staff, thank you. The content of this particular event. I've been in many, many R's, right? I've been in CAR, SFAR, NAR, WCR, but there is nothing like a room full of women who decide to up their game for the simple fact that we can. And that's exactly where we are. And you know, it's not just in real estate, right? We up our game all over the place, in the military, in sports, in our neighborhood, in our community, in our junior high schools. That's our dream. We're living the dream. Much like me, when I decided that I wanted to make one of my dreams come true. It was in April of 2022. I had landed in the TEDx stage. For some reason, I just wanted that red circle. And everywhere I go, I imagine it. It's about 6 feet wide, about 4 feet deep, and you stay in your circle and you deliver your heart and soul to the world. And it was something I always aspired to, and I think there's a lot of people here who have that same aspiration, and I'm going to tell you, you go to it. Because what I had to do is I had to learn to be a better asker. That's what I decided. After 8 months of training, 6 applications, dozens of rewrites, and dozens of wardrobe changes, I finally got my landing, and I was called up to go to TEDx. The night before the big day, I fly in, and it's a dress rehearsal. And dress rehearsal is meant, because as you know, most of TED is seen on YouTube. So dress rehearsals are meant to be the fillers for the main stage the next day. So I go to dress rehearsal, and I'm wearing the outfit that doesn't clash with the red carpet because it's all about me and that carpet. And I am there, and I take the stage, and I go blank. Everything that I had planned, everything that I had written, everything that I had scripted just slipped away as if I never did it. And I stood in front of an audience that looked down. Because you see, most people want to see you succeed. But when they see you up there not making it, they couldn't even make eye contact with me. And they looked down, and I looked up, and I managed to get a couple of words out that I had planned. And then I slithered off the red carpet, and I go up to a person who was appointed as my coach, and he says, you know, you don't have to do it tomorrow if you don't want to. And I thought, I don't, but I did. Because I knew that my whole conquest that day was to dare to be a better asker. I had learned and developed my craft. You see, it was about my dream that I learned that dreams that are worth having, they don't just show up for breakfast, ladies and gentlemen. They take courage. They take courage. And one of the things that what courage taught me was I had to take the courage of facing a learning curve. Not very sexy, but extremely essential. I've learned that from my good friend Leslie. Leslie makes numbers sexy. For me, they were always a mystery. But when I knew that I had to lean into the learning curve, I had to embrace the challenge. And this is another thing I had to learn. And I really want to ask you all to maybe give it a little bit of thought. Kick the imposter syndrome to the curb. It is not true. It is not true. You're not faking it because you're learning something new. Anything worth doing well is worth doing poorly at first. Embrace it. Embrace it. Have the courage to be awkward. Have the courage to be odd. Have the courage to feel uncomfortable. Because the courage that'll take you, where you get from there, is the ability to come to a seminar like this or a room full of people like this, and from the courage, because you see, I went back to my room and I called my coach that had brought me all along the way, and I said, I can't do this, I can't believe it, you wouldn't believe what happened. She said, Kathy, you go out there and you own that stage. You've earned every minute that you're going to be talking in there. You get out there and you take it from your heart to their ears. I want you to look at that script one more time and tear it up, and you go out. You are 95% ahead of most people who want to do what you do and only think about it. And then she said to me something that we always say to each other. She goes, I've got your back. And you know what, ladies? I want you to turn to the people right around you and tell them, I've got your back. I've got your back. Because we have seen, we know that we are not alone. Because the next level of the C's is connection. We need to stay connected. Yes, we need to be first. We need to be first responders in our own life. We need to initiate change. We need to ask for things, but we don't do it alone. That's the myth that needs to get burned. You don't do it alone, do you, Adonai? You ask your best friend, partner up with me, baby. We're going to make this fly. We're going to take it to this beyond the limits. And so you connect. So you have to have that courage to connect. And you know, one of the things that's most courageous for me to say, maybe it's just me, maybe it doesn't, I need help. Yeah. I need help. Because even growing up, I thought that was a weakness. And being a baby boomer, it was enough to overcome the fact that I'm a woman. I thought that was a deficit until I learned differently. So now I'm going into where I'm connecting. And then here's the thing that's really, really important, because I'm all about this. Faith without works is dead. Yeah. And if we don't collaborate, now that we're connecting, I've been doing this for a while, so I still exchange cards. But if you want to Zoom me or airdrop me or give me your name and number or do whatever, let's stay connected because we need to collaborate. I am a firm believer that I am nothing but love in overalls. I am work in motion. That's what we do. That's who we are when we go to work. Now, I don't often say the L word, but I'm going to start saying it now more and more and more. We are love in motion. And our good thoughts and our great work and our unbelievable grasp of the industry is nothing if it's a hidden agenda. It needs to be worked on, and it doesn't need to be worked on alone. And why? Because we're creating new vistas. Where's Melanie? Is she here? Maybe she had to get out a minute. But that we are planning for over the horizon. We are going above and beyond where we've ever been before. And we're doing it together, working together, in a way that we're going into new understandings, deeper meanings, and fresh insights. Now, the thing is, I'm here to talk to you a little bit about, give you some direction. I'm like that road sign, right? Where it's like, go this. I don't have slides with stickers. I don't have 25 things for you to memorize so that you can become a better person. Not that they aren't great. I took copious notes. But I'm here because I've learned that behaviors don't change until hearts open. And it's about us opening our hearts and moving forward into a different direction. Do we need to be educated? Yes, we need to be educated. Do you need to get good at what you do to demand 2.5%? You do the math. Really, I may say I'm bad with numbers, but you give me any number and I'll figure out what 6% is of it. Right? Can you earn it? Can you earn it? Are you educated enough? Do you? And I love what was said yesterday. Not just we know the contract or that we can understand the contract. Can we explain the contract? Can we own it? We've got to educate ourselves. We've got to be in a position where we educate. And then, talk about it. We have to be expressive. Now, I was raised in a generation where we were to be seen and not heard. You could tell for somebody like me that was very frustrating. Yeah. Right? So I was told to be seen and not heard. And also the idea that, because I think my mother thought it would keep me safe. She just realized that safe wouldn't keep me happy. But from coming from her generation, that was the best they could do. So if you've been given the same thing, that don't be too much, don't bring too much attention to yourself, be seen and not heard, love them for what they thought they had to teach you and let it go. Let it go. Stand up, speak up, show up. So education, expression, and then we have to get into a place where we experience. You can't leave here as if you just had a really good meal and you're stuffed. You have to take the experience with you into your workplace, into your communities, into your homes. I'm actually working on a topic that I'd love to speak on. Is when women speak, mountains move. Woo. When women speak from the bedroom to the boardroom. Woo. Can you imagine asking for what you want in every room you go into? Woo. Can you imagine being unapologetic about what's new, what's now, and what's next? That's where we're at. That's where we're going over the horizon. And the last one of the E's that I'll speak to is your essence. You see, all of that has got to flow from you, not from me. Take copious notes, take what you want, Be all that you can be, but let's be you and see what happens. Let's start with the essence. Now, I went out that a little backwards. Education, external. Expression, something you put in the world. Expansion, a decision you make. But the essence, goodness gracious, that's your heart and soul, ladies and gentlemen. That is your heart and soul. Your heart and soul. I used to get in trouble for wearing my heart on my sleeve, and now I want to get paid for wearing my heart on my sleeve. I am all about my heart is meant to be the impression that I leave in the world when I live. If my kids are waiting for money, they're going to have to wait for that other somebody else in their family. But I'm leaving them the legacy of love that only comes when you take the time to be that in the world yours. So ladies, I want you to be you and see what happens, and take everything that you have from this conference into the world out there and show them who we are, what we do, and why we're so darn significant. Thank you.